Coming up on Hanover Headlines, big challenges are in store for Hanover College, but they could come with a hefty price tag.
A Hanover student talks the academic talk while she walks the fashion catwalk.
And the Panthers dominate in conference and tournament play. All these stories and more.
Coming up on Hanover Headlines. Welcome to Hanover Headlines. I'm Carson Bailey.
And I'm Tristan Green. College is a balancing act. This year, the balancing became even trickier as the college implemented a new schedule. Classes that were once 50 minutes now last a whopping 70 minutes. Students are having trouble finding time to do everything they want to do. We hit the campus center to see just how students are being affected in their daily lives.
So, do you like the new class schedule?
It's god-awful.
For what reason?
Just because the classes are really long.
Napping has been completely cut from my schedule, which is, a really sad thing as a senior.
It throws off my Netflix game because I can't really finish an hour, show within the hour. I always have to stop and then start again and then stop and then start again, and it's annoying.
Even though a majority of students don't support the new class schedule, it is a federal guideline requirement. What most students don't know is that instead of sitting in class for 70 minutes, they could have had to add a 5th class to their schedule.
More students, more money, but more success. The Board of Trustees at Hanover College has recently approved of the 2020 Clear Visions Plan. This plan is based off of 4 goals: increase enrollment, make sure 100% of the graduates get a job or enroll in graduate school, have more alumni engagement by offering up to 150 alumni-initiated internships, and help with financial stability. But this increase in real-world opportunity could come at a price. Expect tuition to rise as the college seeks to gain $500,000 per year by 2020.
2 Hanover alumni are slated to assume key government positions as the result of Tuesday's election. Mike Pence will be the next Vice President of the United States, and Eric Holcomb serves as Indiana's next governor. Both men won despite polls that showed their opponents ahead going into election week. We sent reporters out on Election Day to talk to voters and find out about their motivations. Students at the Hanover Parks polling station found large crowds. Campaigners said there were more voters at the polls than in any other past election. At the Jefferson County Fairgrounds, voters were motivated by the Supreme Court vacancy, both in the race for president and Indiana's open student senate seat. Around campus, reporters discovered rising tensions and emotions, especially in the wake of chalking. Messages found around campus. Reporters also found first-time voters were most motivated by fear and had little support for either candidate.
New York Fashion Week, glamour, cameras, models, and Hanover College. One Hanover College student hits both the books and the catwalks. That's Hanover sophomore Talina Mormon, who got the opportunity to walk in Fashion Week the past 2 years. How cool is that? She's modeling for prestigious clothing lines and magazines and catalogs. You might know her as a communication major and Benjamin Templeton Scholar. Here to talk about her modeling career and life as a student at Hanover College, Talina Mormon. Thank you so much for being here, Talina.
Thanks for having me.
So you're in college now, but your career as a modeler didn't start till you were a freshman in high school. How did you hear about that kind of career, and how'd you get into it?
Actually, this modeling school recruited me while I was in high school, and then that's where it all started. After the classes, I just fell in love with it.
Now, I'm sure you've had various emotions of excitement and hesitation about entering the modeling world. I mean, lots of people see this career as very glamorous. It can also be tough. But, like it shows here in the photo from your portfolio, there's always, unfortunately, there's always talks of models starving themselves. This can be tough on body image, especially at such a young age. What were some of the expectations when you were entering the modeling world?
A lot of the expectations were just to make sure that you eat healthy and you stay fit, because you never really know when you'll be called to do something.
And being in college, I'm sure, takes up a lot of your time and makes it much harder to do what you love. College is very time-consuming, and photography sessions can last up to at least 5 hours. How do you manage it all?
Usually if I have a shoot, I'll just go home during the weekends, or I'll do them over breaks, so that really helps.
And how do you prepare for your modeling jobs?
Just make sure that I eat healthy and I stay working out at the gym.
Like we said earlier, everyone has heard crazy dieting and exercise expectations from models. I've even heard of something called a cotton ball diet. Is that real, and what is it?
Actually, the cotton ball diet is real. Basically, you take a cotton ball and you dip it into juice and then you eat it. Personally, I've never done it, but I have heard about it.
I'm sure, especially before a show, that can be a pretty big deal. Now, people might think that being a model is a really big, glamorous lifestyle, but really, you've said that there's a lot of difficult parts to it. I've read that during Fashion Week, models have to endure up to 6 or 8 hours of castings. Is this something you've had to experience?
Yeah, when I go to New York Fashion Week, I'm usually up around 7 a.m. and I don't get to go to bed around midnight. So it's really a quick pace week.
Is it true that you get free stuff?
No, sadly I don't get free stuff, but I do get paid, so that compensates.
Well, at least you get paid. Now, I'd like to say that even though it's surprising you don't get free stuff, that I really appreciate you coming in here, and thank you for taking time out of your busy life to come and talk with us, Talina.
Thanks for having me.
As you can see, modeling isn't as glamorous as it looks, and Talina doesn't have the average student life. However, Talina handles juggling both school and a profession as well. If you would like to check out some of Talina's latest work, you can follow her on her Instagram at tall_Lena, or check out her online profile at www.lmodelswithaz.com.
Having a theater right outside your door may sound glamorous, or at least convenient, when you're scheduling a date. 2 Hanover dorms, Donner and Ide halls, have had this luxury since the Other Place Theater, also known as TOP, was built between their buildings 2 years ago. We caught up with both theater students who perform in the space and dorm residents who basically live on top of the theater to see what they think about the arrangement.
Not having a workshop over there to build.
I actually really love people walking in through our rehearsals. It is actually one of my favorite things about it, just escorting drunk people from behind the stage into where they're supposed to be. It's very convenient for me as a stage manager, and I really want people to just continue to barge in.
Our dressing rooms are located in the Ide basement, which is fun.
When they got it roped off and you come from work after being there for a long day, it's kind of inconvenient because you come in and the rope's there and then you got to walk back outside, especially when it's cold outside or it's raining.
It's like, I just remember like it being really awkward, like when we'd walk through there, like when the rehearsals were going on, and I remember like one time somebody actually fell.
One time I was walking to take my trash out, and then I didn't know anyone was in there, and then they started yelling their lines, and it scared the crap out of me.
But also, it's kind of a cool thing too, because when they have different shows and stuff like that, I don't have to go outside. I can just walk downstairs and, enjoy some fine arts and a nice play, or come support the students.
I think it's a nice buffer because the boys' dorm rooms really stink.
Well, it's clear to see that the students at Hanover College really love the theater between Donner and Ide, and all the smells that come with it.
Speaking of smells, Hanover's fall sports team have been experiencing the sweet smells of victory. Let's go to Coy Broderick for a sports rundown.
After a rough start, the Hanover College football team has finally figured out what it takes to string together some wins. The winning streak started with a dominant win over Earlham College. The second win of their streak came in the come-behind victory over Defiance. The opening touchdown run by T. Hart got fans cheering. Down late in the game, the Panthers punched back with a game-winning touchdown pass from Chase Lightfoot to Taylor Blystein to grab the W. The team credits their improved play to positive energy brought by their new coach, Coach Theobald.
he does bring a lot of discipline to the team. He has very high standards for the team, and he always preaches to us that best is the standard.
The Panthers next travel to Franklin College, where they'll take on their rival, Franklin Grizzlies, aiming for a victory bell win to close out their season. The Hanover College men's soccer team is headed to the NCAA tournament after making history, the most wins ever in a single season and the most wins in program history. The team had ended their regular season on a tough loss to Rolls-Holman, but this made them hungry for revenge. The men went out to beat Rolls-Holman in the HCAC Tournament Championship Saturday, giving the soccer program its first HCAC title in history. Rafael DiMeo was named the Conference Heartland Conference Tournament MVP. The Panthers are now given an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. The first round games will begin on Saturday, November 12th. In women's soccer, after losing 4 out of the 5 first games, the team turned around their losses into triumph. The last weekend, they beat Franklin, Hanover's biggest rival, in the win over the conference title for the 4th year in a row. They had an undefeated home season. The 11 seniors led the team to dominate in the conference, beating many teams by at least 5 goals. This makes the senior class the most decorated class in history of Hanover women's soccer. Here to join us today is Harley Vandervelde, the senior starting goalkeeper from Argos, Indiana. Carly is here to tell us about her journey these past 4 years and her life as a Hanover Panther. Please help us in welcoming Carly Vandervelde. Hello, Carly. You've been playing soccer for a very long time. You played all throughout high school, and it seems in your past 4 years here, you've battled a few injuries, and you've persevered through it all. How has it been through that process?
It's been a great experience for me. My freshman year, I was dealt with some injuries, and my sophomore year, I came back as a starter, and then junior year, had some more injuries, but the senior year has been great for me.
Okay. We discussed with your goalkeeper coach, and she said your hardest obstacle was yourself. And what do you have to say about that?
Coach Nugent has been great this year. She came in last year for us, and she really understands us as not only a player, but as an individual, and really works with us on, overcoming those obstacles that we do have.
Okay. And you guys are on a very large team. You have about 30 players. How is it working together with 30 other girls on a team?
Coach Jim Watts has done a great job with us in recruiting players that are very similar in personality and just the style of play that we have. We do a lot of team bonding during preseason and whatnot, and we're just a really close-knit group of girls that really gets along. Excellent.
Okay, so the Hanover women's soccer team just won its 4th consecutive championship, and I believe you were a part of all 4 of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
How was it being a part of that journey?
It's been an unbelievable journey. This year was absolutely fantastic, beating Franklin for the 3rd time out of the 4 that we did have, and getting MVP. It was a great experience for us.
Okay, all right. Well, Carly, we wish you the best of luck as you head into the conference tournament, and hope you have a nice day.
Thank you.
The women's soccer team will be traveling this weekend to play in the HCAC AA Division III tournament of Illinois Wesleyan University. Be sure to check them out. Hanover College men's cross country ran into the record books this season. The team posted record times and topped finishes at several meets. Jacob Hedrick led the charge for the Harriers. Hedrick ran the 11th fastest 8K time in Hanover College history. At the conference meet, the Harriers finished just 3rd overall, just 7 points out of the 1st place. The team will look to build on their success with this season by competing at the Great Lakes Regional Meet this weekend. Finally in sports, volleyball. For the 2nd straight year, the Panthers are undefeated in conference regular season play, but they finished as the runner-up in the HCAC conference tournament. Hanover Volleyball dominated the regular season. They broke the school record with 15 consecutive wins. Altogether, the team tallied a total of 25 wins during their regular season. Unfortunately, the Panthers fell short in the 4 sets in the HCAC tournament match. Despite Sunday's upset, they are confident about their ability to top even this spectacular year. Next year, they lose only 1 person from their starting lineup. That's our Hanover Headline Fall Sports Roundup. Back to you, Tristan and Carson.
What an exciting year for Hanover sports.
Definitely feeling the Panther pride this season. Well, that's all for this episode of Hanover Headlines.
Thanks for joining us.